Good morning, everyone. It's Wake My Light, and today I want to go over more of a personal video today. I want to go over just why I went change my healer main. So before, if you would have watched my Twitch streams or some of my past videos from like a few years ago, right? The ones that like way gone past, right? You would notice that I was a Holy Paladin main. Now I'm a Disc Priest. Today I kind of want to discuss why I changed and the pros and cons of both, and ultimately why I decided to go Disc Priest. So originally when I was playing, I've always loved Paladin. Paladin was one of the first classes I got to max level, and the aesthetic of Paladin always was like a lot of fun to me, and I thought that they had really awesome transmogs and that kind of thing, right? And I played them all through BFA and stuff. Well, at the beginning of beta and that kind of thing, I was kind of losing hope with the Paladin. I kind of wanted to try something different. I kind of wanted to. I've come to a point in my WoW career, if you will, right, where I was like, you know what, I want to try something different, something that was outside my comfort zone, that would push me to really get deeper into the game, per se, or really just a breath of fresh air. And this is kind of what brought me to Disc Priest. Obviously I've watched the Automatic Jack videos and mode on Twitch and that kind of thing, and I was like, you know what? Let me take a test drive. What do I really think of? What do I really think of Disc Priest as compared to Holy Paladin? Old and new version of Holy Paladin, that kind of thing. And honestly, what I grew to love about Disc Priest is a lot of the stuff I liked about Holy Paladin during BFA, right? So BFA saw a change in Holy Paladin where it went away from a stand back and heal, and sometimes you go in and do damage, but it didn't really matter if you did or not, right? Whereas once BFA really started to get going and Paladin really started coming into its own, especially with the Glimmer of Light build, you saw Paladins really start coming to their own as a melee healer that was decently fast paced. It was a mindless build, but it was decently fast paced. It really brought a nice big breath of fresh air into the healing environment, really. That wasn't that Disc Priest already kind of did, but it was a little bit different. But to me, it was a huge breath of fresh air. I was like, wow, this is actually kind of what I've always wanted to do. I've played DPS for a long time in WoW, and I played healer for a long time, but it's like, finding a good marriage. And I never was really a fan of casters. So, but as BFA went on, I was watching betas and playing beta as well. I grew not to really be all that excited for Paladin. Paladin was interesting. It was fun. I had a lot of new buttons going into pre-patch and stuff, but I just wasn't really feeling it. You know what I mean? It wasn't really something I was sitting there like, oh yeah, let's go, right? So instead, I was like, you know what? Let me try something that's like way outside, right? So I decided to try Disc Priest. And it was crazy. I actually really started liking it. And some of I went ahead and listed out, because everyone loves lists, right? I listed out some of the things about Disc Priest that really stuck out to me, right? So something that stuck out to me for Disc Priest was that damage is a core part of healing, right? That's why Disc Priests are so much wanted and high-end rating. It's because they have great healing potential, right? But they have great healing potential while providing the passive damage. Any damage is better than no damage, right? And any damage that's already part of your healing toolkit, why would you not want to take that, right? So the fact that doing damage was a core part of being a discipline priest was kind of really intriguing to me. It's something that I've kind of like always liked, right? I liked some of the monk stuff. I've liked I've always been a melee for so long, but if I want to get outside my comfort zone, I want to do it kind of like this, and I really enjoyed it. The other thing, and it's the main reason, honestly, why I play this game, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. Comment below if you're one of these people, and don't forget to subscribe also, because more to come. But those transmogs, man, cloth transmogs. The only thing that can beat it is plate, really. But cloth transmogs and plate transmogs, they up there. They up there. Let's not lie here, right? And then really when you start getting into the nitty gritty of this priest, right? It has amazing healing potential. They're one of those classes that is high risk as far as playing it. If you don't know how to play Disc Priest, it's going to be rough, right? It takes a long time. It takes a long time to learn and know, okay, this is when people are safe. This is when people aren't. This is when I should be doing Shadow Mend, or this is when I should do Power Word Shield. And even some of the gameplay here, you're probably going to see me messing up 1,000 times, right? And that's all part of the learning process, right? But knowing when to react with all your different spells was a lot different than Paladin, right? With Paladin, it was like, okay, throw some Holy Shocks if it's up, throw some of this when it's up, throw some of this when it's up, GG, we out, let's go, right? It's a very reactive healer, which I'll get into later, but Disc Priest is much more of a proactive healer, right? They're really good with burst mechanics, right? When you have damage that comes every 45 minutes, every minute, 30 seconds, right? Stuff that's very well timed that you can plan ahead of time. And if you take the good 6-8 seconds before damage goes out and you set up your burn phases or your burst phases, you can really get some huge numbers going, right? But it's one of those things where you have to, you have to know what you're doing. You have to plan ahead of time. You have to know how to use your cooldowns, like your Rapture and Evangelism, correctly, and play around with it. Know when to use Radiance, when to actually hold on to your Radiance, that kind of thing. Priest was one of those things where you can't just go into a fight and go, okay, let's go, right? You need to plan ahead of time. You're the healer that has to be one of those that's willing to research a fight before going in. Because if you're not going to research, you're going to be just trash the entire time. And that's something that I really wanted to focus a lot more on this expansion, because I have goals of hitting the higher echelons at some point, right? But if we compare that to Paladin, right? Paladin damage is usually a core component, right? Since BFA, right? You have your Judgment, you have your Crusader Strikes that provide different forms of healing or holy power generation, that kind of thing. So there are damage components that are semi-core to being a Holy Paladin. Plus, plate transmogs, like I said, it's hard to beat, man. Those things are amazing. But one thing about Holy Paladin, and why it's so easy for people to pick up, same thing with something like a Holy Priest or a Resto Shaman, right? They're very reactive healers. Damage goes out, you respond, right? Whereas a Disc Priest, you prepare for damage going out. Reactive healers are reacting to the damage that has already gone out, right? The other thing is they have really strong personal cooldowns as well as good damage reduction, right? They're one of the few classes that has a full immunity. They have they can bop someone to prevent physical damage, to prevent someone from falling from heights. They have lay on hands, huge CDs. They are a CD oriented class, right? And it's something that I really like about the Holy Paladin. But generally with the Paladin, they're weak in the beginning and then they get stronger at the end, whereas Disc Priest is generally pretty strong throughout. Now, granted, BFA did see healers pretty even, except for in some situations, Paladin being one of them that just kind of broke away and then kind of got reined back finally by near the end. But so those are kind of like the reasons why, or the differences between the two, or similarities between the two. Ultimately, why I chose Disc Priest is because, like I said, it's kind of a breath of fresh air. It's kind of one of those things that really just like it's something new. It's exciting. It's a healing style that I'm not really used to, but also familiar with, right? Like I'm used to the BFA Glimmerden, where I'm dealing damage and doing my thing, and boom, boom, here we go. Crusader Shock, Holy Shock, boom. But going into this, now I have to be much more like paying attention to timers and paying more attention to what damage is going out. How strong is that damage going to be going out? What CDs do I have available? How many Radiances do I have available? That kind of thing. Which has led me to look deeper into the weak auras that I'm using, how I position all my action bars, all those kinds of things, which honestly has really started to make me a bit of a better gamer, which I'm really excited for. So going into Shadowlands, I'm honestly just really excited about this whole thing. I'm excited about Disc Priest. I'm excited about this new main. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments below. Have you guys main switched for Shadowlands? If you have, what did you main switch to? Are you just keeping with the same main that you've had for 8, 10, 12 years, 14 years, 16 years? let me know, guys. Also, you know, if you like the video, hit like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Don't forget to check me out on twitch.tv/wakemylight. And yeah, guys. Is there anything that you guys don't like about your main? Is there things that you don't like about the covenants? Let me know in the comments below, guys. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope you guys all have a great day.